Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Welcome back to my craft room. Hope everybody had a great day and you've been crafty all day today. I wanted to do something a little simpler today. So, because I've been busy, a lot of things on my mind, haven't been sleeping well. So I was inspired by Wow Nola. And she created cards by stamping her own designer series paper. And what I will be using tonight, oh, before we get into that, so these are the cards we're going to be making, and I'll go over all the colors and everything that I'll be making. But I just announced my class to go. This is using Eden's Garden. And it does have another box here. I'll show you that in a second. This stamp bundle will be released on November 1st. So you can be the first to have it in your hands. So the registration is up on my blog, galfridaystamping.net. And it includes this fun fold card. And it opens up, and here's the inside. And then this card is masked. And then the circle is popped up. And then a nice die cut on the inside. Am I blurry? Okay, let me move the camera up a little bit. Maybe that'll be better. And then this cute little rectangle box made with a piece of DSP. And then I have a gift card that I do have it a little glue dot holding this down. Let me just open it so I can take the picture. But it opens up and then it's decorated on the inside, and then the gift card goes right here. And then for the last project, let me just get these out of the way. It is this box. Yeah, I'm noticing that camera too. Hello, hello. And I'm using the DSP again. I'm going to just move this up a little bit more. I don't know why the camera is doing that. And when you open up this box, it has 4 triangle boxes inside that you can fill with goodies. So it's just a fun little box. And it just rolls back up to create your square. Just really fun. Oh, you were checking out the PDF? Yep, it's for sale. Okay, so I just want to remind everybody also that November 7th, I'm going to, on Sundays, be doing kit classes, and I'm going to start with the No Matter the Weather class. So if you're interested, I set the event up already in Gal Friday Stamping, so you can find all the information there. All right, let's see. Whoa, hopefully the camera won't give you a hard time tape. Okay, so we're going to do 4 cards tonight, and they're really quick and easy. We're going to start out with 4 card bases, and I use 2 sheets of cardstock, and they're 4 pieces that are 8.5 by 5.5. So I'm just going to get this folded and get this score line burnished. And this, I think I said this is Sahara Sand I started with. Trying to think of autumn colors, trying to get away from, those pretty flowers. Hi, Pam. How are you? Thank you. Hello, Pamela. And then I grabbed some Calypso coral and I cut 8 pieces, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and one I'm going to put on the front, and the other one I'm going to use as a mat on the inside. And then I have Very Vanilla, and this is going to go on the inside of the card. Okay. And then with the stamp set, I'm using the artistically inked stamp set and the dies that come with it for the leaf in So Saffron. Seafoam. That's the soft seafoam. Sorry about that. And then I'm also using one of the dies from the Forever Flourishing dies. The sentiment label from which is the Snow Wonder bundle. And then the elegant tag and the double oval punch. Okay. And the Very Versailles stamp set also for the text. Okay, so let's start. I am going to just grab one piece, and I'm going to get another piece of paper to put here because I know this fold is going to give trouble. So let me just tape this. I should have not put that there. I've been trying to keep that so this paper isn't here. Sorry. Okay. So I grabbed another 8.5 by 11 piece of Very Vanilla. And I'm going to be using Cajun Craze. I didn't use the Petal Pink. The Mango Melody. The Soft Seafoam. Mossy Meadow. Sahara Sand. And Calypso Coral. And then I'm going to add a bit of cinnamon cider. Really nice colors for autumn. And we're going to start with this script from the Very Versailles. And we are going to grab the Sahara Sand. Let me just grab a piece of scrap paper here so I have it on the side. Open up the stamp pad. I know somebody is. Are you watching on Facebook? Yep, I know. I don't know why I have no internet on. Nothing in the house is on other than this computer. I cleaned my camera. For some reason, it is acting really funny the last couple times. I'm wondering if it is not my camera, but let me see if I slow it down a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Let's see how that works. I changed the setting, so let's see how that works. I'm going to have to investigate why that's happening. So we're going to start with the script and the Sahara Sand. And all I'm going to do is I am going to add the script right to the edge of the paper. Now when I get to this side, I'm going to put it this way so I can have a card that is portrait and they're not all landscape. So I'm going to do one sideways and the other 3 I'm going to do right side up. So now we have our script on the front of our page, and we can put aside our Sahara Sand. Next, I'm going to grab some Calypso coral and the large flower. And we're going to randomly put these flowers around the page. And I'm just going to ink it up. And I'm actually going to stamp off and add it onto the sheet. I don't know if I stamped off the cards today, but tonight I'm going to stamp off, get a different look to show you that no matter what you stamp, everything, no matter what colors or what you do, it always really comes out pretty. Now with the flower, you just want to make sure that you turn it each time you stamp. This way the flower's not all in the same direction. And I just put 5 on. You can put more. I'm just going to leave it at 5 so I can add my smaller flowers. So I'm going to put the coral Calypso away, and I'm going to grab the Mango Medley. Now for the Mango Medley, I'm using the medium-sized flower from the set. And this one, where the color is pretty light, I'm going to do this full strength this time. And there's a little spot here, so I'm going to put it right in the middle. And then I'm going to overlap and put 2 in that space there. This section's a little closer together, so I'm just going to put 1 here and turn it and put 1 right there. All we're doing is designing our own DSP. And the same thing with this stamp. You want to just make sure each time you stamp it, you turn it a little bit. Go inside. Just to change it up a little bit, because once we're done, we are going to cut. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Deborah. We're going to cut this sheet to use for our DSP. So we just made a pretty little wreath. So let's close up the Mango Medley. And we're going to grab the Cajun Craze. And for this, let me just grab it. Move my stamps. We're going to use the smallest of the flowers. And this one let me just check. We are going to do this by stamping off. And we're just going to add these randomly around this wreath we've created. And again, you want to keep turning your stamp. You don't want it to look like you just held it in one spot and just stamped. You want it to be random. And put 1 more here. And we're going to close that up. And we're going to grab the soft sea foam. On YouTube is having issues for some reason. That's really all I watch is YouTube. Hi, Elizabeth. And YouTube is having some issues tonight. So I'm sure that is the same problem that is happening with Facebook. I know there's so many changes going on. I think that is what the problem is. Because I'm running smooth here. Yeah, I know. Hello, hello. I'm really sorry. I really don't think it is an issue with my internet because I have complete bars. I think it has something to do with Facebook. Okay, so now I'm going to use the double leaf with the soft sea foam, and I'm going to do these full strength, and we are just going to randomly put these flowers around. Make sure we get them on the inside. And again, we just want to put them all around, changing our direction. And I'm stamping, and then I stamped again just so we had a little bit of a shadow there. And let's see, we'll put one more right here. Okay. Don't really want to overdo it. It's fine there, Deborah. Yeah, I think it's an issue with internet. I really do, but mine seems to be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow, and I'm using the leaves from the Forever Fern. Now, when I ink this up, I'm going to ink it up to the stem. I don't want to add the stem. So when I grab my stamp pad, I'm going to ink it so the stem is off the stamp pad. And for this stamp, I am going to stamp off and then stamp on, because this color is pretty dark. And when we're inking and stamping, we don't have that stem in the way. Whoops, almost went the wrong direction. So you can overlap these flowers. Let's put one right here. And we're just going to put them around all randomly. No rhyme or reason. And I think I'll add one right here. Okay. So now we have the base of, yeah, the replay would be fine. If it's an issue with Facebook, then it'll be better afterwards, because I know I don't have an issue here. So I'm not really too sure. I'll investigate, but I know I'm not having any trouble on this end. Okay, so now that we have the flowers and the leaves, I am going to grab my cinnamon cider and the little dots, and I think this is from the Expressions in let's see, Expressions in Ink. Let me just check if that's where I grabbed it. Yes, from Artistically Inked. I grabbed the little dots, and I am going to stamp off, stamp, and then stamp again. So I'm stamping off and then stamping again, just so all the dots are different colors, and I'm just going randomly, whoops, around the sheet to fill in some of the white spots. Let's see. Let's put one there. So just random with the dots. Okay. Now we're going to grab this little flower again. I'm going to get my fingers all inky. And I'm going to just put it on this little block. Let me just clean this stamp off. My chair is squeaking. I need a new chair. I guess I'm going to have to invest in one. Horrible. Let's hear it. It's terrible, terrible. Okay, I'm going to grab the, actually, no, I'm going to grab the petal pink. And with the little flower, I'm going to fill in the center of these flowers, and I'm going to stamp it and stamp it. Stamp it and just, stamp it once and then stamp it again. So it'll be a dark area and a light area. And that'll just fill in the center of that flower. And then we have our wreath of stamping. So let me just pull in my cutter. Now this is the worst part now. We know that we need our layer on the front of our card to be 5 1/4 by 4. So let's cut the 5 1/4 first. And that'll be for one. Now for this one, I could either cut the edge or, and take off some of the white, or I could cut the edge with the flowers. And I'm going to cut the edge with the flowers. So we're going to cut for 5 1/4. And we're going to keep this piece because we're going to add it to the inside of the card. So we're not going to waste. I know, too pretty to cut, right? That's what I was afraid of when I first did it. So now we need 4 inches. So we're going to cut 4 inches. So there's one layer. Oops. And the same thing with this. But this time I'm going to take it off of this end. And when we get ready to add it to the center of the card, I'll just stamp a few more flowers and leaves on it, okay? And then let's grab this one. This is going to be our card that is portrait. So we will cut this 4 inches. So here's our portrait card. And then for this one, I'm going to cut it down here at the bottom, get rid of some of this white space, and I'll do the same thing to this piece. We're going to keep this piece for the inside of the card. Okay, so let's start making our cards. Sahara Sand, that's the base color. That's why I added the text in Sahara Sand. And then Calypso Coral, it's the color of the flower. Now, some of these cards I layered with glue, and some of them I popped up. So I think I grabbed the wrong glue. I got 4 of them here. And I ended up grabbing the one that was pretty low. And I keep them because when I'm working on a project, I actually cut the glue bottle open and use the residual glue that's still stuck inside the bottle. Yeah, I hear you, Kathy. I'm so sorry. Hello, Australia. How are you? Okay, so let's just grab another base of Sahara Sand and let's adhere this layer. Let's get these layers down so we can get our piece. Make sure it's on there straight. And we'll pop these two up. So let's grab some dimensionals. And we'll pop this layer up. Then our mats will be on our cards. So is it? Hey, Deborah. Thank you, honey. Yeah, I used 2 pieces of this Sahara Sand for the card bases. And then for the mats, I did actually use 4 sheets. One, two, well, I did use 4, but it's 2 for these cards. Then I had to do, make my samples. And then 2 for the berry vanilla. Okay, let's pop this one up too. So we have 2 that we adhered, and we have 2 that we popped up. And then we can take our pick. What do we want to do first? I think maybe we'll do the best wishes one first, because I used the elegant tag punch, and I actually stamped on top of it with the flowers and leaves, and it'll give me a chance to stamp the pieces that we want to put on the inside of our card. Okay, so now we have 4 card bases. Let me grab a scrap right here. And I am going to grab my best wishes. And I'm going to grab the cinnamon cider. I think that's what I grabbed. Let me just look at this for a second. Yep. And we're going to stamp best wishes. And let's hope that this is wide enough for this tag. Let me just check before. Yep. All right. So let me just trim this bottom off a little bit and get this sentiment centered and straight and punch that out. So what I did to this one, I'm going to go back and grab the smaller flower, the Mango Melody, the Mossy Meadow, and I didn't like all the very vanilla, so I am just going to stamp and stamp just to fill in some of the space. And then we'll grab the Mossy Meadow and the leaves. And this one I did full strength. I'm actually going to stamp it off for the bottom. just to decorate that tag. Now, while I have this Mossy Meadow out, this piece looks fine. Let's just add another leaf down there. Where's my other one? This one has nothing on it. So we'll add some of these leaves. Get our pieces ready for the insides of our cards. Hey, Kathy, how are you, honey? And, whoops. So there's one. Okay. Let's get this scrap out of the way. So now we have our tag. Let's pull in our card base. This is the one I am going to do in the portrait. So let's get our portrait piece. And I am going to adhere this down to the front of the card. Making sure I'm on here even. I was having so much trouble today. I have a guillotine and my cuts were horrible today. I wasted more paper. Oh well. Okay, so now I'm going to take my tag and I'm going to pop this up. But before I add it to the front of the card, I am going to grab these leaves. Let's see if I can. I didn't even take all the pieces out. I'm really sorry. Usually they pop out and I don't even do anything. So I'm just going to trim out this centerpiece here. Let's see if there's one spot on my cut and emboss machine that will not cut for some reason. So sometimes half my die cut, my pieces will punch and half it won't. So I'm hoping this works. It looks like it did. Okay. And I am going to cut that leaf off there. We don't really need that. And I'm going to take one and I'm going to glue it to the front of the card and remove my dots for my dimensionals. And I am going to add this, let's see, and get it stuck to the dimensional. And add this to the front of the card. Again, making sure it's straight. Grab my champagne, and I don't know, oh, here it is. My gems, the champagne gems, and we're going to add one right there to the top. Now with this one, where there is so much white space here, where this one didn't have that much white space, I'm just going to, on this card, add a couple gems to this side. And then just one on this side, just to fill in some of that white space. Okay, so now for the inside, we're going to grab our layer of Calypso coral, or coral Calypso. I should always get it mixed backwards. And we're going to grab one of our strips that we cut off, and another sheet of 5 1/4 by 4 inch Very Vanilla. And I am just going to add some glue. And this one, I'm going to pull up from the end a little bit to add it. Now, if you want to make sure it's right down to the edge, hold it up on its side and just push the paper down towards the table. And then you'll get a nice flush edge. And if you cut it straight, it'll be on there even. So let's just trim this off. Add some glue. I'm just going to add it to the edges because we don't want it to show through. And then we're going to add this to our layer. And then the inside of our card. No, sorry, Teresa. I know, I think it's a app problem. I don't think it's my internet. I think it is Facebook. Okay. So there is card number 1. I do see that my camera is going in and out, which is weird. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I may have to just stream to one place. Maybe that's an issue. All right, now we'll pull in the next one. Now again, you want to watch your text. It starts with 3 little words at the top. So this is going to go on just like this with the text right there. And we're going to add this to the front of the card. Now for this one, I just want to take a look. My cat is snoring. I think I'll do the happy birthday and put it right about here. And I used, again, the die from the Snow Wonder bundle. And I cut one in Very Vanilla and one in Coral Calypso. And we are going to grab our happy birthday stamp. And again, we're going to go for the Mango Medley. And we're going to hope I get this on here straight. Let's see if I can get this centered. There we go. And while that's drying, I'm just going to take this label and cut it in half. Oops. And I'm going to add some glue. And all I want to do is have just the edge showing through. Thanks, Deborah. And then on this one, the same. Just going to add it and put it on each end. And it's just to give this a little bit of color so it doesn't get lost in the background. You just want to make sure it's on there even. And while that's drying, let's see, what did I do with my ribbon? It's probably right here and I don't see it. Yep, it is. We're using the Pale Papaya. I didn't want to color anything and I figured this was a pretty good color to use. It's none of the colors that I used with my stamping, but it's in the family. So we're just going to tie a quick bow. And I know I promised somebody a bow video, but I've been so crazed. My husband has been having at least a doctor appointment or two a week, and we've been seeing so many different doctors, not just his regular GP. He's been going to specialists, and each time we go to an appointment, they add 2 more appointments to for different tests or seeing a different doctor. So instead of our appointment list going down, it's actually growing. So I'm so behind with everything. So I hope everybody just bears with me, because it has been, each month they keep saying, well, hopefully next month will be better. And it's been, each month has been getting worse. Okay, so I'm going to pop this tag up, and I'm going to lay it right here on the bottom. Just going to lift it to make sure I have it on here straight. And that looks good. And then I'm going to grab a glue dot, and I'm going to actually put the ribbon on the front of the card, not on the label. Just like that. And then we're going to grab these champagne gems, and this time I'm going to put 2 on this corner. And then I'm going to grab one, and I'm going to put one down here on that corner. Grab another mat. I know, I keep forgetting to take care of myself. I think what I've been doing is escaping to the store. I mean, what good is that, though? I escaped to the grocery store. How horrible is that? But it's like, at least I get out of the house. And it's funny because I did actually apply for, the VA has a caretaker program where they, give you help, and you get a stipend because you're helping a veteran, even though they're related. And we were turned down, which doesn't really make much sense. But it's because all his disability comes from, believe it or not, I'm going to center this like this off the 2 ends because I like these flowers here. But all his disability came from peacetime, even though he was during the Vietnam War. He was not in combat. He was in a helicopter crew chief. So that's why we were turned down, because his disabilities began during peacetime. So they said that it would change come October 22nd, 2022. So if he is still around in 2022, I guess I'll be applying again. Okay, so running my mouth. I just added this, pulled it up again from the end, and laid it on the card so I could see the mango medley flowers, and then cut off the 2 ends. So now we have a really pretty birthday card. So we made a best wishes, a happy birthday. let's grab the next one, and we are going to grab our double oval punch, and we're going to punch a Calypso coral, and I am going to have to grab another sheet of the paper, and I'm just sitting here looking to see what I did with my hello stamp. That's weird. Hello. Oh, here it is. Silly me. Again, right there, right in front of the face. So I'm just going to add my hello. And this time, I'm going to use Calypso Coral. I know it is a bummer, Deborah, but we all have a cross to bear, I guess. And it all started, believe it or not, when we moved here. We were caretakers of a campground, and we worked constantly. And when we left that job, because of his health went downhill really quickly. And when we moved here, I think we were in here 6 months, and he hasn't, I think we've been in this place 5 years. 6 months after we moved, he got in his chair and hasn't gotten out since. So it's been rough. But enough about that. Okay, so I stamped hello in Calypso Coral, scallop oval Calypso Coral, and I think it's Coral Calypso, and then also with the sentiment. So let's grab another card base. Let's look at our 2 layers, and it's going to go this way or this way. And I think this time we'll use this one here. So again, we're just going to add some adhesive or glue. I love the glue because I don't have to worry about making a mistake. So sorry, Deborah. I know it's very hard. When you take care of somebody else, it's very, very hard. Okay, now I used the dye from the Forever Fern. No, it's not. Forever Flourish. And this is actually copper paper. And all I'm going to do is cut off the tip. And I'm going to add some glue. And I'm going to adhere it to the sentiment layer, because I want to pop this up. And I think for this one, I'm going to put the hello on this side so we don't cover up these really pretty flowers. So let's grab some dimensionals. I'm just going to add these to the back. So as we're just sitting here yapping, I just want to remind you, starting Sunday, November 7th, that's a Sunday, I think I said that, I'm going to start creating with the kits that we have. I'll do 3 cards that are by the directions to show you how cute they are, just following the directions. And then I'm going to do 3 alternates. Okay, so here's our hello. We're going to, again, we're going to grab a Calypso Coral. We're going to grab a Very Vanilla. And we're going to grab the last strip of our paper. How great is that? That you have something that you can add right to the inside of your card. Now this time I'm going to put it right up against the bottom. So I'm just going to lay this down here. And I'm going to hold it up and press it down. I got something stuck right there. There it goes. And then I'm going to do the same thing this way. So I know it's right up along that edge. And we're going to give this a little trim. And here's our last piece for the last card. Now we're just going to adhere this inside the card. Oops. And then grab our card and lay this right inside. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could put this on the other side, on the right-hand side instead of the left. I just figured for this one, we'll leave it on this side since the hello is on the right-hand side. Because I think this one, I actually put it across the bottom. So the choice is yours. Okay, so here's our hello. And then we have one last one. And this one, I actually left no sentiment on the front. So we're going to just lay this down on the front of the card. Grab our gems. And this time, I'm going to put one in this top corner. And I'm going to put two right here in this bottom corner. Making sure they're straight. And then for the inside, grab our last two. And I believe we're going to do thanks. And I'm going to do it in Cajun Craze. I am going to first put my piece on. Add it right here to the side. Make sure it's right at the edge. And while that's drying, I'm going to grab my thanks. Ooh, my blocks need cleaning again. Thanks, Kathy. And I'm grabbing Cajun Craze. And I'm going to stamp thanks. Hopefully it's straight. Right there on this corner of the card. So you can see that these were 4 quick and easy cards that are really very pretty. Easy to make. You get to use your stamps and your ink pads instead of just die cuts. I used 2 punches. I used just the 1 die cut for the sentiment, which I could have used, something else. I didn't really need the die cut. Now, I just want to show you, okay, so here is the 4th card. I just want to show you a quick trick. I have a Very Vanilla envelope, and I am going to grab the big stamp I am going to grab a piece of scrap. Oh, you're so welcome, Deborah. And I'm going to grab the Mango Melody. And we're going to ink this up. And we're going to stamp off and then stamp on. We're going to decorate this envelope. And we're turning this stamp. I think we all forget that our envelope can be pretty too. So we're just stamping up the flowers on the envelope. And we can even, this might be, I know, we can even do our flap. Like I said, I think I mentioned last week, I have one of those seals for the back of my envelopes. Now you're going to say, well, what if I wanted to mail this out? Well, actually, what I did was I cut out one of the frames from the scalloped. Let me just see what this little spot is. Scallop contour dies. And I am just going to add a nice bit of glue. And I'm going to add this right to the center of this envelope. And that is where you can put your address. So now you have a really pretty envelope to go with your card. Really quick and easy. So those are our 4 cards for tonight. And boy, did I make a mess. So we have our card that says thanks. And look how they're different. If you'd like these make and takes, just place a $35 order and you'll get these make and takes. So you can just stamp your paper yourself and use the host code that's going across the screen. And you'll also receive 24 6x6 sheets of random design and a swag bag with flowers, ribbon, foam tape, tear and tape, and this great little craft eraser. Plus, the month of October, you will get this 15 tutorial bundle using the Penguin Palace bundle. So, really great deal for spending $35. So, here are our cards, created the same way, but look at how different they look. Isn't that amazing? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, your stuff will go out in the mail probably by Saturday. So have a great night. Speaking of Saturday, I will see you Saturday, and we're going to finish up the explosion box. And we'll have to discuss what we'd like to start making next. I'm thinking storage items. I have more cards in this room that I really have to start creating some storage so I can put all my birthday cards together, all my thank you cards together, and they're in some sort of container that I know where they are. So, oh, and here's the 4th one. Best wishes. So I hope you enjoyed these cards, and I hope you get a chance to create them just like this. You can use any colors. I just chose autumn colors for tonight. So thanks for joining me. Have a great night, and I will talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye now.